ไปแล้วมั้ง
Just came inside the Yan monastery, and it was very nice to see a beautiful Buddhist temple here. And this one, the main hall where the central god is located, is placed, is actually called the Mahavira Hall. It's this pagoda has the main Buddha statue at the center. On either side of the main statue, there's the statues of Kashyapa and Ananda, and also another avatar which is Avalokiteshvara. So all of these names are so familiar to us because of the kind of Buddhism that also has remained in India over all of these centuries. We also saw that the other main pagoda here is called the Manjushri Pagoda, and all of these names are starting to sound so similar to what we hear back at home.
Right in front of the temple, they have this big tower in which you can see so many bells hanging. People are just going around this bell tower and worshipping it, just like how in Indian temples we go around the 9 statues and then we worship it. It's so similar, and as soon as we entered the temple, they gave us an incense stick which we could light and offer it to God. This temple was so incredibly beautiful. It was all red in color everywhere, with slanting roofs. They had so many Chinese paintings. They had written the mantras in Chinese and they had hung on the walls. And it's not just one temple. I think it's like a temple complex in which there are many small shrines in between. You enter one temple, you finish worshipping there, and then you enter the next one. It goes on and on.
It had definitely been a while since we experienced the peace and calm that we got to see here today. Even though there are many people, and unlike back home in India or even in Southeast Asian countries where Buddhism also prevails, we don't see that much of a strict adherence, like strictness around clothing. Like, people are definitely welcome to come in as they are dressed. It's a little bit more flexible than what we've seen in other temples, which I guess I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just an observation. It's nice that people can just come in and pray. And what I felt really nice about was to read all of these names that we are so familiar with from our culture back home in India. While reading some of the boards that were put up inside the temple, I saw a reference to the word West many times. And then we just looked it up on the internet, and then we understood that the reference of West here is actually the land to the west of China. And to the west of China, in the sense of Buddhism, is actually India and Nepal, the larger Indian subcontinent where Buddha was born, Buddha had his realizations, Buddhism was born, and it spread from there. So in most of Chinese scriptures, the West actually refers to this piece of land, which is India and that part of the world. So it was very beautiful to know that this is how it is, but it's also really sad that there's no reference to the modern day India here, because where Buddha got self-realization, that was in Gaya. Gaya is in Bihar, a state in eastern India. That place is so sacred to so many Buddhists. I haven't actually been there, but we've learned that there are temples that have been installed by countries from all over the world. Like, even China has temples, Myanmar has temples, Thailand has temples. All Buddhist countries have a temple there. So it would have been nice to see a reference of that here as well. We're getting tickets to the Sichuan Opera. It's the first time we're attending an opera in a long time. I think the last one we went to was in Russia, so I'm a bit excited.
At the temple, we were just sitting and searching what next can we see in Chengdu, and then we suddenly came across that there's this opera show here, and then we saw where it was happening. It was just at the end of that street from the temple,
So we got some 2 tickets just now, last minute.
This is something we usually don't do, but feels like fancy.
The opera is just about to start, so we're actually very late
Excited.
and we're curious to see what it's like. So we've got 2 seats right in front of the
I think we had a good 1.5 hours.
It was actually very fun.
They had a number of performances, like all different kinds. Some were dances, some were shows. One person was making hand puppets, and then there was a fire dance also.
Yeah, and the most impressive part of the show was definitely the face changing, the mask changing thing. It was so incredible. In the last few days, on the streets of not just Chengdu but also in Chongqing and a few other cities, we've been seeing people sell these little dolls. These dolls that you pop on the head and it changes the face, like the mask or the facial color changes itself. So
And today we got to see it in real, like how they do it at these performances. And now I want to buy one of them.
If we find another doll, I'll show you what that's like. But in the time that he actually spent dancing in front of us performing, he changed his face at least 10 times. Each time it was a different one. At one point there was also Spider-Man, and then at another point there was Eddie Murphy. It was hilarious. Everybody in the audience was laughing.
And at the end he would come to each person's table and then he would ask them to touch their nose and then he would change his face again.
So it was really, really fun. I think this has got to do a lot with the viral dolls that have been moving around the country. But yeah, it was really worth spending this money and experiencing it.
So these were the dolls we were talking about, but what we saw was a much smaller one.
Yeah, like these.
Yeah.
But this is pretty much how that guy's face was changing the whole time while on the show.
Quansai Alley, which is supposed to be the most happening part during the night time.
So this one is actually a very important cultural street. There's a lot of old buildings and there's a lot of cultural activities that apparently happen here. And you could come here during the day or in the evening. It's just that we decided to walk up here. And it took us about 45 minutes to get here from the opera show. That was a very nice walk. Chengdu is very, very quiet, even though it was so busy with traffic.
But while we were walking on the way, we got an SMS which told us that our next train, which is tomorrow night, is cancelled.
There you go. Second train cancellation in a matter of a few days. And now we're super stressed because all of our plans were set from the next city onwards.
Now we have to cancel our hotel booking, again go visit the railway station, book another train.
This is getting a bit too difficult and we are still not set up to book tickets on our own inside the app, inside the Chinese apps. And to do it on the English tourist apps, there's like a huge charge, like a convenience fee. So now we have to get back to the train station, book another alternate ticket, wait for 5 days to get our refund and deal with this hassle.
Just in time, and we want you to come and enjoy a nice last night in Chengdu.
So logistics matters aside, we just take a little walk through this area.
I want something to drink, so thirsty.
Both Chongqing and Chengdu are very dry compared to the other places we've been in. So it's very easy to get dehydrated here. That was funny. It's like a little yo-yo boomerang.
We've been drinking nearly 3 to 5 liters of water every day while we are walking around in the city. Like after going to the room, it's another 2 bottles of water.
Wow.
The street already looks like crowded with people and kind of colorful. The lights have come on already.
probably didn't say this earlier, but everything in Chengdu is all about pandas. Look at that. There's a whole shop with panda themed pastries, and there's a giant panda inside it.
Wearing sunglasses. On the road when we were walking, we saw an electricity box that was also painted with panda. I panda you.
Aren't you hungry?
Very much.
Orange you hungry?
Thank you.
We just got done with the potatoes that we had for dinner. It was very nice. The spices on it were incredibly good. And then we had to go back and get another second orange juice. So,
Ni hao.
anyhow, hi. So far Chinese folks have been so friendly. I mean, they're not camera shy at all. Like most of them have been always saying
In
hi.
fact, they're also clicking up pictures once in a while without us
Yeah,
knowing.
it was very noisy in the restaurant, so we couldn't really vlog. But the food was great. The juice is great. Now we have to go deal with the mess that we have with the train ticket. So there's a metro station close by. We'll get on that, get to the train station, and try to get an alternate ticket to the next city, which is Xi'an. So we'll see you guys again in the next vlog. We have no
Yeah, and
clue.
hopefully we get to make it.
So thanks for coming with us today again. Hope you enjoyed Chengdu and the pandas as much as we did.
I panda you.
Bye.
Baby panda. Panda. Na, 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 na. Panda.